Hello, this is Matt, aka the Hemp Ranger. Blessed to be alive. I want to get on video today and talk about terpenes and why are they important to your products related to cannabis. Have you ever heard of the entourage effect or the ensemble effect? Is that what it's called? Entourage effect is what I'm looking for. So there's a reason why people say they want their live rosins or they want their terps, man. They want the terps, and that's the difference maker because it's a very sensitive and volatile chemical compound found within cannabis, and it's an isomer and a hydrocarbon chain that is in a constant state of evaporating, and that's why you can, have the cannabis in your hand and you can relate to it because the stuff that's coming off of it, it's evaporating, and that's what they are. They're isomers, hydrocarbon chains in a constant state of evaporation. And inside of cannabis, they produce a myriad of different smells and aromas and all that different kind of stuff. So, for instance, one of them is limonene, and I think pinene smells like pine, limonene smells like lemon, and they've got myrcene, it smells skunky. They've got linalool, it's a relative to lavender, it's a sedative terpene. So, there's a myriad, like I said, of different terpenes and terpenoids and flavonoids too, with different flavors that interact with your body. So one of the things that's important about that, and it's relative to CBD and THC, but I know for CBD from THC, that's like the baseline high that you get. It's very, sensory enhancing itself, but when you're consuming a cannabis product that's got a high content of terpenes in it, those flavors and the smells, the aromas, the stickiness, it gives you a way different feeling. And it's basically, imagine THC as the car, just a basic car, and then that's the direction that you're steering in. So THC alone, say for instance, if you had some isolated tetrahydrocannabinol that had been gone through a process where all the terpenes have been, extracted out of it, say through, a hydrocarbon chain extraction method like butane or methane gases or, butane, they tend to, like I said, the terpenes are volatile, so they tend to go away and dissipate. So you're left with just a product that's just THC. So if you've ever consumed that, then you just, it's just a baseline high. And then when you reintroduce terpenes into that product, that's when you get that entourage effect, that stoned feeling or that baked feeling, because really what your brain's doing is interpreting that that mixture in a different way, just like how CBD and THC work together and they create a synergistic effect, a healing effect. The same thing happens with the terpenes, whether it's with the CBD or whether it's with the THC. I believe it's the same effect because they're chemical compounds that come from cannabis, and they also have different healing properties. Each one has their own healing properties. So if you're mixing this great thing that has these healing properties with this great thing that has these healing properties, and this is an enhancer, and so when they mix together, it just, you don't need as much, it just makes it just how you like it, synergistic, like I said. So you can have CBD tinctures right now in the market with low THC that have reintroduced terpenes into them, and I tend to like that a lot, and I think that's really neat that the market is doing that. And you can also purchase isolated isomers and hydrocarbons, like the flavors of the plant are now being on the market, and I think you're going to start seeing a whole lot of that, and a lot more research diving into it, and I'm doing a lot more research into it. I've named a few of the things that I know, but it's a deep, thing to dive into. There's a lot of content all over the web already. Max Montrose has a website called Trichome Institute and a training class about, learning about these different terpenes. It's called Interpreting School. and Trichome Institute, you know. So he's on Instagram, Max Montrose. I've just seen a few little clips here from YouTube, read some things. I even saw someone in person with his pamphlet and his brochure. I got to do the wheel and the flip card, looking at the different effects that different terpenes have on the body and where you can sense those. And that's when they start talking about indica and sativa, and that's, you know, the differences, because there's different effects. You know, THC is THC, but what is making the difference then? And it's the terpenes. You know, it's the terps. You gotta have them. Like I said, if you're in the business of hemp, or even any, you know, related business for that matter, and you want to be the next, you know, have the next upper hand and have the next, you know, widely sought after product, I believe it's going to be terpene infested products, because eventually, since this is something that grows from the dirt, there's somewhat of infinite abundance. You know, of course, there's the people that have their magnificent strains that are going to be still expensive in their own blends and things, but for the most part, the main terpenes that are available are going to start becoming more abundant, and they'll be more widely available, because I believe there'll be more land utilized as the stigma is relieved and as the laws evolve in cannabis's favor. So sorry, I keep running out of the camera here. So, and yeah, I believe that the research and the knowledge of having the terps on your side and in your product before you know, get to the consumer, that's going to be something people are really looking at. And I'm really looking at it and wanting the terps. So again, this video is not saying for you to go out and have any illicit products introduced to your body, or to do anything illegal. This is all just information wanting to share with you that I think was important for the future of the hemp and cannabis industry, and for the consumer or the businessman. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up or something, you know what I mean? Like, holler at me, say what up, dude. My number's 615-588-HEMP. Ain't no one called that line yet, so I'd like to just see that, hey, I called 588-HEMP. You know, if you're in Nashville, you still have to type in 615. They changed that around not too long ago, you know. And I'm gonna give a shout out to a few people. Like, just hit 710 on the video, so I'm gonna do a shout out to my mom, yep, my mama, and also to Alleviate Farms for being the first tincture line that I found with real true organic terpenes. Not that any other company's not going to that or whatever, but I just hadn't seen them and no one's introduced them to me, and you know, I just, you know, they've introduced it to me first. So Alleviate Farms, that is just a kick-ass line of products, and something that I use daily, and I recommend to all kinds of people. If they want it and I can get it, I'll get it, you know. But I just absolutely love that. Got my mom, Alleviate, Terps, peace, and holler at me, man. Blessed to be alive as always. We grew hemp together. I am you and you are me, right? We're all one or none. So I am George Washington. Peace.